Hey everyone, how you doing? I'm Mark and we're back with episode 16 of Minecraft Stoneblock. Last time we did some work with Mekanism and we kind of proved that we knew nothing about Mekanism because our efforts to get this gas burning generator going and producing power really didn't work because we didn't know anything about the inputs and outputs of Mekanism machines and how gas worked and a whole bunch of other stuff. So I spent a little time between episodes hooking up the rest of the wiring and conduits back here and playing around with the connections and figuring some stuff up. And I actually got this to, if we open this, generate some power, and we have a full tank of ethylene in here ready to go. So it works. And I can show you briefly the changes we made. The first thing is I did in fact hook up everything back here with conduits, which is pretty much standard stuff. We have our crusher, which crushes wheat into our biofuel, and that is the output going up and the power going in. And if we look around here at the electrolytic separator, we had the problem last time of the oxygen was backing up and basically blocking further production. There is a dump button here. And, we can actually set that to dump. So we can just leave that at dumping because we don't care about oxygen. And that's turning our water into hydrogen and oxygen. On this side, we can do the same thing. And that's actually, since I dumped some, is going to start running again. So we definitely want that at idle. And then we take our pipe and we have to pipe out of this left side because oxygen goes right, hydrogen goes left. Pump it into our pressurized reaction chamber. And this, I think we had fairly well figured out. The only thing I did figure out after the fact was we have separate tabs for the flow of gases, items, energy, and fluids. So we have all those different configs. We just have to mess with them. So the gases config is what we care about. We're bringing gases in from the left, out to the right. And items we're putting input in the top because that's where we're getting our biofuel from our crusher. So this is all working. The only thing we have to deal with here is this substrate, which I've been manually taking out because when that fills up, it blocks production. And as you can hear, everything starts running as soon as we do that. And that's just going to backfill this little tank right here. And you can hear the crusher in the background going off because it's making room for the biofuel here as we use it. So there's still a little work to do here, but it's running fairly smoothly. So we have a full tank of ethylene here. And I made this capacitor bank, which is currently empty and holds 10 million. What is the Ender IO unit is like micro infinities or something. Basically, if I'm remembering right, 1 micro infinity is 2 RF, and I'm going to turn down the volume on that because those machines are really loud. So we don't need to hear all that. So this is 20 million RF of energy storage. So what I want to do is, break this pipe and go ahead and take a look in here. We have 18 buckets of ethylene gas, and I am going to go ahead and put down these capacitor banks. And, oops, I meant to put that on top, but that's okay. I'm going to go ahead and let this run, and you can see that's filling up fairly quickly. That's 2 million RF already. And we've only burned like 2/10 of a bucket so far. So that's a lot of power coming out of this. And, you know, that's good. I mean, that's going to meet our power requirements for quite a while. I just want to see how much ethylene it's actually going to take to entirely fill this capacitor. We are not even going to use a full tank. Not even close. We're not even going to use a bucket, I don't think. That's a lot of power from that ethylene. So, in any case, I think this setup, once I get it moved down to a reasonable location and actually, you know, configured with inputs that automatically input and outputs that automatically output, like we need to take this substrate out of here, we need to feed in the wheat that makes the biofuel. And these machines actually, did you run out of power? Why are you not running? Oh, because it makes 4, not 2. Okay, that stopped running. So yeah, it used less than 1 bucket of ethylene to completely fill this capacitor. That's a lot of power production. So that's going to address our needs for quite a while. I am going to do a little bit of work before I get this setup moved down to the space I prepared for it. I want to make sure that we have some tanks to buffer our hydrogen and ethylene outside the machines, mostly just to manage it a little better. I haven't really planned out the full layout of this stuff, and I don't really know how many separators and reaction chambers and gas burning generators we need, you know, what the ratio is between machines. It seems like we can probably run multiple generators off a single PRC and electrolytic separator, but we'll see about that. I'm not sure what that's going to how that's all going to play out. So I'm going to go away for a minute and build a couple tanks and pick all this stuff up and move it downstairs to the space I have prepared and try and put it together in some sort of at least useful layout. So I'll be back in a minute. We are down in my little basement room where I'm going to set this power generation up. Here's our rice generator, or our slime generator, I should say. I've gone ahead, set up the capacitors, hooked up the gas burning generator, done some piping. I went ahead and put a basic gas tank in the line here because it'll serve as a buffer for gas production. We have our PRC, we have our gas tank here holding hydrogen, same concept, and we have our electrolytic separator, which should be dumping. I think we're going to do dump excess there because I want to do, I made one more gas tank. I'm going to go ahead and store oxygen. We don't have any power right now, so I can't do anything, but I'm going to go ahead and store oxygen, and we can set this up. It's inputting from all sides and outputting out the top. I guess that's standard, but that's not the way I'm doing it because I never do anything the way you're supposed to. So we're just going to input from the left, and this is a bit cleaner because our flow is all one way. Pipes don't quite match up to the ends of these tanks, and I'm not sure why. The next thing we need is we need our sink. Our sink that we didn't break, maybe? I don't know. Let me go see if I can find the sink. Maybe I broke it and didn't pick it up. I think I'm just going to sit this here for now and put one more pipe. You are extract, always active. And that should be keeping these completely full of water. It is. So we need to give them power. Oh, we need our crusher too. I guess we do need a crusher. The crusher is going to feed into this, so we'll do the same thing we did last time. We'll just set it up. I guess we can just set it up here. Crusher doesn't need the water, but it does need power. And I'm just going to run this power line here. And it also needs an item conduit, and I can put that there. So that can be extract, always active. This side can be insert. And if we look at the crusher, we can do the side config, and it's no longer, that's the energy. Maybe this will work. I'm not sure. That's the top. Front, so this is the back. That's output. Boy, that's really hard to read. And I'm going to turn that gray. Let's just see. You are getting power. Well, maybe you're getting power. Let's take this out of here. Oh, you're not getting power because I don't have anything hooked up to this yet. We need our flux point, which we can just connect up here. That's providing power to all these connected machines. And this is getting power. This is getting power. This is getting power. And so this is slowly filling up. We're getting an oxygen supply, a hydrogen supply. Our PRC is busily making ethylene, which is going into this tank. And you are really not running much at all because this capacitor bank is full, and so far right now I have these set to I thought I set this to priority 1. Let's look at the I think I can look at this. Priority 0, oh, they're both priority 0. So it should be drawing power from both. I actually wanted this set to priority 1. So right now this is providing all our power to the network. And this shouldn't be, this is using nothing at all, as you can see. So how long is this going to take? That's backfilling fairly quickly. This is all working. There are a couple things we still need to hook up. Namely, we need to put the materials we want to crush in here, namely wheat, and we need to take the substrate out of here, which is basically the side waste product of this process. And to do that, I think I'm debating whether I just want to do an ender chest or I want to actually run a AE conduit over here. I think I just want to do an ender chest. I think that was what I decided. Just because it's easier and it's relatively simple to configure that. I don't think I have one in here. So let's go ahead and get over here to our crafting station and make an ender chest. And that may mean that I'm going to rearrange those item conduits too, because we'll need to access the ender chest. So we want to make one of these ender chests. And we're actually going to have to make 2. And we're going to have to color the die. Let's see what color. Let's use, this is, we have rose red. We do. I'm going to go ahead and do red, red, red. Red, red, red for our power supply here. Red, fire, gas, burning. And I am going to move this item conduit. Because what I want to do is just use a couple filters on that to control the item ins and outs. So if I do that, let's do this across the top. That is insert. That is extract always active. So the green cycle is going to be moving the biofuel into the reaction chamber. And I need to change the siding on this. So top is going to be output. Well, that's the back. You're actually going to be energy. So we can let that be. Oh, this isn't as simple as I wanted it to be because Mekanism is sided. It's not awful. So I can put this here. I'm going to go ahead and change you to red, red, red. And I'm just going to stick an item conduit on top. And you are going to be... I'm going to have to think about this for a minute. I'm going to have to think about this for more than a minute. I will be right back. I have figured out how this is going to work for me. So recall a long time ago, we had this chest set up to pull rice out of our storage slave here, our controller slave. And that is what feeds the rice into our other power system to make slime balls. So I went ahead and modified this. This is now extracting rice and wheat, and the rice, this is filtered for rice, so only rice can go in. So that goes to the slime ball creator. This only accepts wheat, and the red, red, red combo also only just goes to our new gas burning generator setup. And it's just connected to the crusher, and the crusher is turning the wheat that it provides into biofuel. So if we come over here and look, I did keep these split because this is just a straight transfer and I didn't want to make it more complex than it had to be. We have a lot of wheat sitting in this chest. This is full and will remain full now because this is supplying all its needs. This is pulling out the biofuel, feeding it into our PRC, and the PRC is going to dump its excess material. This is going to be insert, and this is going to be extract always active, and this should start getting, yep, you can see there's substrate going into this, and I don't believe substrate has any place to go, so it's going to start backfilling that storage drawer over in the back of our storage drawer setup. So this is officially working. I am going to go ahead and label this. Let's call it gas creation. And you can see this is taking 180 RF per tick to run. I am actually going to raise the priority on this because we want power. We want our power generation system to always have power. Running out of power there would be a bad thing. And our gas burning generator, right now it's not producing any power because our slime balls are keeping up. And we are net positive on slime balls, but that's because I planted yet more slime balls and added more milk to our production system. So nothing bad going on here. It's still working, but I did have to boost it a little bit more. I think I will probably want to turn this into our primary system just because it is so much more power. And I suspect that's going to be for much less cost. So I think I'm just going to let it run for a while and see how things play out. In fact, before I do that, because I can never run down this corridor enough times, I'm going to set this to 0. And I am going to set this to 1. And now this is producing all our power. Well, this is producing the majority of our power. Should be producing all of it, actually. And our burn rate is really low. I think that's millibuckets that it's burning per tick. You can see that it's barely chunking that. And our gas supply, let's watch our gas supply for a minute, actually. The PRC produces gas in batches. Yeah, see, 17.8, 9. So our gas supply is net positive so far. And again, I really don't know. I don't really know where our weakness is going to lie here. Hydrogen we certainly have enough of. I'm suspecting that our weakness is probably going to be our PRC. We may have to just hook up another PRC, and that'll be pretty easy. We can just stick another one down. Anywhere in here, really. I can rearrange this to make it a little more neat. And that'll give us even more power if we need it. So I want to go over here and take a look at something I set up a while ago that I kind of forgot about. And that is our cobblestone generation system. If you recall, we set up a bunch of cobble generators and compacting drawers that were making our double compressed cobblestone that then went over into this tower that was making quadruple and sextuple and octuple cobblestone. We have actually gotten 1 septuple and 7 sextuple cobblestone, which I think is enough to do something with. I don't know if you remember, but the reason we were making those was for a couple quest items. And speaking of quests, we probably have a bunch we can turn in. Endstone. I did make some endstone a while back because I needed to sift crushed endstone for something, and I don't remember what it was. So I did that. The items we want to make are the deep dark portal and the aroma mining dimension mining tool. So let's take a look at those recipes. At aroma, this requires that only requires quintuple cobblestone, so that is easy to make. And I don't think these are anything special. They are not. So I'm going to pull 2 quintuple cobblestones out and go ahead and make this, if I can figure out where they are. Quintuple should be this middle one. Is that right? Yep. I do have a crafter on a stick somewhere, don't I? I do. I don't know that I have everything I need to make this actually in my hand, so I think this might be easier. We needed a stone pickaxe, a stick, and flint and steel. So go back. Oops. We have a stick. We need 2 to make a stone pickaxe. We need some cobble. And I think that's all we need. So we can get our crafting table on a stick. Old basic recipes. And those are not sticks at all. Those are basalt rods. They can go in. We do have sticks in there though, so it's okay. So we have that, and that goes there. That goes, oh, we need flint and steel, which we don't have the materials for, but we can get. We need 1 flint, and we need 1 iron. And so we make our flint and steel. And now, hopefully, we have what we need to make. We do. And to make the portal frame blocks, we just need any chiseled stone, which we should have a bunch of, and if we don't, I can easily make it. Do I have any in here? That is chiseled stone. So I don't want to do what I did last time and use up my entire tool by accidentally auto-crafting like 20 stacks of these. So we only need 10. To make the frame, I'm going to go ahead and... Oh, there's another quest for us. Check this. We get some glowstone ingots, which aren't particularly useful. We will go ahead and claim this quest. And check this prize. We get more Black Lotus, which is fine. One day we might actually do Botania. There are quite a few mods in this pack that you can do stuff with, but they don't really seem like they're necessary for completing most of the quest line, and that's sort of my goal with this mod pack, is to get the quests done. So we can go into our portal room. I'll have to do a little redecorating. I guess we'll do... It's just a standard... I think it's just a standard portal layout, and then we right-click it with the tool. We have armor, and we sort of have armor. And we have our sword, so we should have no problem going to the mining dimension. Let's go check it out. And there we are. A beautiful, sunny world with light and everything. And a bunch of plants that we can actually harvest. I don't know that there's anything we really need to do over here. The main reason for coming here was eventually, when I start making really big power, if I want to make a solar array from environmental tech, this is the place, because the mining dimension is constant daylight. Back when we started AE2, I mentioned you usually find the presses in meteors. This is a meteor that we could mine into and find a press in the middle of. I'm not going to do it because that stone is really hard. What is that down there, though? Oh, it's a beehive. Huh, I didn't realize we had bees. I guess there are no bees in the Stoneblock world. They must only be in the mining dimension. So one thing about the mining dimension that we don't have in the Stoneblock world is we have normal ore generation. So if I wanted to come and do an actual mine, this would be the place to do it. We have all the resources we need, so that's not really a thing. The other thing that we can do with the cobblestone generator is make the deep dark portal. And if I recall, that's going to take more than we have. Deep dark portal is... Well, that's quintuple, sextuple. So it needs 4 sextuple and 1 septuple. I think we have all this. We may as well try and make it. I am not just going to go running into the deep dark, though. There are bad things there. I would actually like some real armor before I did that, and probably flight. I think I want flight in the deep dark. And we take one of these and we break it down into 9 quintuple. And we take our crafter on a stick. And I think we can just make this. We can. And we can go ahead and claim our quest for that. And let's see what we got. We got some wyvern cores, which are nice to have. I'm going to run back upstairs and stick this down in our sort of portal chamber. And I'm going to stick those in there too. All right, let's go over here. I don't actually remember how the Deep Dark portal works. I think you just step on it and maybe crouch. But for now, I'm just going to stick it here and call it done. I'm not going to go through because the Deep Dark is dangerous and I'm not prepared for it. I'm going to make some armor and probably work on flight, which both may be projects for next time. I think the first armor I'm going to make is going to be the armor from Mystical Agriculture, maybe. Let me see if I can find that. Yeah, we can certainly make at least intermediate and probably, I don't know, maybe we can make supremium armor. That takes 4, 11, 17, 20 ingots. Plus these take nether stars. Oh, that's a good thing. We have a fair number of nether stars because I upgraded our patient bag opener to automatically dump nether stars into our AE system. Well, into our storage drawers actually, when they popped out of the patient bags. So they're no longer just sitting down there in our mob grinder basement. So I think we might be able to make that. How much Inferium do we have? We have 30,000 Inferium. That's not a bad total. Yeah, I might actually look at that for next time. Making some good armor. Because we're wearing piecemeal junk that we pick out of our mob farm loot. Our mob farm trash, essentially. I do want to look through here and see if there are other quests. I think there are probably a bunch of Mystical Agriculture quests we can pick up again. There are. Because I went ahead and made all these ingots once just to get the quest completed. I did make the Insanium Essence, and I made some Tier 5 and Tier 6 crafting seeds, and I don't remember what I made those for, actually. So I'm going to claim all these rewards, and then we can open some loot crates and see what we get. Do we even have room? Oh, we do have room to open it. So we get another Rod of the Shifting Crust, which we've had. We get more Black Lotus for mana. I'm going to just move this up here so we can open these 3 at a time. Storage disk for refined storage we don't care about. Flask, which we don't care about. Flask, which we don't care about. And I'm going to dump the stuff we don't care about in here. We don't need the mining multi-tool anymore. And we'll open the last of these. Well, almost the last of these. Growth Crystal, Invar Hammer, Invar Hammer. We are just scoring big on all the loot chests. And more viaducts. Viaducts and food. We got all that we need. I'm just going to stick all this stuff in here for now. Was that all of our quests? I think that was it. Haven't done any more with storage. Oh, I did make the Draconic Evolution information tablet because I was considering using the storage, the power storage from Draconic Evolution for our main base power storage, which I'm probably still going to do. But I didn't want to go into all of that. Speaking of, that reminds me what I made all those seeds for. Somewhere over here, I think it's here, we should have, there they are, we have some Draconium seeds here. And I think I also made, whoops, now they're going to be impossible to find. Pretty sure I also made some Tier 6 seeds. I don't remember what they were though. Maybe they are the Awakened Draconium, but they don't grow unless you have the right. Let's see. It wasn't any of those. I did make a Tier 6 crafting seed. I want to say I made the Awakened Draconium seed. but I don't see it growing up here, and it shouldn't be growing up here because we don't have the crux in place, because I know I didn't do that. So anyhow, we have draconium seeds growing for us, which are giving us draconium essence, which we can use to make draconium ingots. And whoops, that's not our inventory. If we look in here, we are slowly accumulating draconium ingots. I think I started with 150 when I set this up, so that's a slow process, but it's going on in the background. And I definitely didn't make Awakened Draconium because we don't have the seeds. I also expanded our garden area a bit. We're now over the chickens. And I put another floor in here for wheat because I wasn't sure how much wheat we were going to need for our power system that we just built. It looks like we're going to have way more wheat than we actually need, so that's a thing. And this, well, that's something for next time. I think this is a good place to call it quits. Thanks for watching the episode. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please consider leaving a like or subscribing to the channel. Hit the bell if you want to get notifications when new videos go out, and leave a comment if you have any thoughts or suggestions on this episode or upcoming episodes as far as projects we can tackle. Have a great day, and I'll see you next time.